President Truman press and radio conference in the old State Building, 1st of May, 1952.
Please be seated. I want to open this conference up by telling you that I don't intend to answer any questions on the steel controversy. So you won't get a book full of no comments. Now you can ask me about anything else you want.
President, there's a rumor that Latin was lying in Mexico is measured every
No, not true.
President Ryan McMahon has announced his candidacy for the Democratic nomination. If you talk about his qualifications,
I think very highly of Brian McMahon. I think he's qualified for the job, and looks like we're going to get some good candidates in the field. Brian McMahon is all right.
Mr. President, I think most of us have been convinced by what you said about your own candidacy, but I wanted to ask one clarifying question. If the event should arise where you would be actually nominated by the convention in July, would you run?
I'd say no. I made that very plain in the statement that I made. No, I would not run.
Mr. President, I just think the situation might arise when Governor Stevenson now might accept the draft for nomination.
Well, now that's a question for him to settle. He's another good man. He'd make a good president.
President, any comments you make on the liberty of the motion
He's coming, I think, to the White House for luncheon tomorrow. Isn't that good? I believe it's tomorrow.
Who is that, Mr. President? I'm sorry.
The President of Nicaragua. The motion. His daughter, who is the wife of the Nicaraguan ambassador here, is a schoolmate of Margaret.
I wondered who was under your advance. Mr. Wilson said that you advised that Mr. was 9 ways from Sunday in this situation. Could you comment on that among you?
I have read Mr. Wilson's comments, and I have no comments to make.
On that point, are you waiting for the deal to be settled down before you can discuss it? Is that what the delay is?
Not necessarily.
I see.
No, that isn't necessarily. But, it would be better, I think, to wait until we get these big controversies settled before a successor is appointed.
Mr. President, this country's been getting a lot of protests lately from Canada and Britain and Belgium about increasing tariff protectionism as evidenced by tariff commission action on applications for higher rates. And I believe Secretary Atkinson said something about that the other day.
I think he answered the question amply yesterday in his press conference.
Are you concerned about that trend?
No, I'm not. I don't think there is any such a trend.
Mr. President, there's been a lot of conflicting reports about what you might do when you get a tight land bill before you. Could you explain whether you will or will not veto that legislation?
When the bill comes to me for action, then I'll tell you exactly what I'll do. I can't make any advance promises on what I might do.
Mr. Spruce quoted you after a recent meeting, and it was later repudiated. Would you comment on that?
No, I will not.
President, this may be a steel question. I'd like to ask Senator Humphrey said the other day that he would accept the decision of the Supreme Court in steel seizure.
Of course I will.
Then, as far as you're concerned, the system of checks and balances goes on unimpeded.
Certainly, unimpeded. No ambition to be a dictator. All I've been trying to do is to keep the country running, Mr.
President, also reports that you are preparing to seize the oil industry because
That's not been put up to me. I'm hoping you'll settle it. They're very close to a settlement.
Sidelight line. Representative Gilbert of New York said yesterday at a House Banking and Currency hearing that it's his opinion that if the Defense Production Act were not amended in the labor section so as to prevent a return of the present controversy that the House
but not the extent of the Defense Production Act. Do you want to comment on that?
No comment.
But then report that you might make a radio address or send another message to Congress on the steel situation. Anything in that?
I am not ready to make any announcement on that piece at this time. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get the matter straightened out, of course. What I want to do is to produce steel. We need steel, and steel is what I've been trying to get all the time, nothing else.
To state the record, you stated that you nominated you would not run, referring to the general named Sherman, I believe.
Yes.
Would you serve if elected?
I know he's good. If I refuse the nomination, I couldn't be elected.
Mr. President, we couldn't hear your reply over here. Couldn't hear the question, Mr. President.
Well, he's quoting General Sherman. I won't know if I'd go on and finish the sentence as Sherman did. If elected, I would not serve. I say if I do not accept the nomination, I can't be elected, and that ain't that.
Mr. President, does this interfere with your statement at the outset that you didn't want to answer any questions about steel? Is it possible for you to answer this question? How long could we go in this present situation, that is, with plants shut down? Is it possible to answer that question?
Well, I can't answer that without going into the whole thing in detail, and I don't want to do that while this matter's pending. I'm going to take every action possible to get steel.
Including an injunction?
I'm going to take every action possible to get steel, too.
You just mentioned, Mr. President, that you had no ambition to be a dictator. Do you believe, however, that emergency seizure powers could ever be used by a future president along such lines?
Well, now, we can't answer that question until we have the final decision. It may require legislation. We'll see.
Mr. President, specific covering seizures of steel plants, is there any Collective Service Act?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Mr. President, there have been reports that a couple of senators, anyway, have been sitting on postmaster nominations pending congressional action on the reorganization plan which you sent to the Hill. Do you approve of such action?
I don't know anything about it. I sent the reorganization plan down hoping that it would be accepted. And I think that will answer your question, but I don't know anything about action by individual senators.
Mr. President, have you had any report from Ambassador Briggs on his visit with Mr. Otis?
Yes. It was reported to me. His message was reported to me by the Secretary of State this morning. He said he found Mr. Otis in good health, that he'd had a recent haircut and had some dental work done, that he had not been hungry, and that he'd gotten to the point now where he could sleep. We're doing everything we can to get him out, and we're going to continue just that.
President, I'll make one more try.
Go ahead, Pete.
Secretary Sawyer said that the steel workers were not striking against the government. Whom are they striking against?
They strike, Pete, is one of the things that... Sorry, you didn't say that. Well, that's all right. Wait a minute. Let's finish. All right, go ahead.
He said the union certainly did not strike against the government.
So whom did they strike against?
I'll let you answer the question, Pete.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I can't answer the question. Present time. I'll tell you about it later.
Mr. President, with that question having been raised, the next question is, do you think it's slightly justified at the time of the call?
I have no comment.
Mr. President, someone brought up a slightly further back, giving the authority
the particular steel plant, and you said you didn't know. Subdivision H, after referring to the fact that you can order steel necessary for the defense program, said if any such producer of steel or the responsible head or heads thereof refuses to comply with such requirements, the President, through the Secretary of Defense, is authorized to take immediate possession of the plant or plants of such producer or producers, and through the appropriate branch, bureau, or department of the armed forces to ensure compliance with such requirements. When you say that legislative authority?
We haven't got to that point as yet.
President, any comment on the Navy violence in which American property damaged, American personnel injured?
I have had no official communication on the subject, so I can't comment on it.
Mr. President, could you say whether or not the solution of this steel crisis might follow the pattern of 1946?
I can't. I can't answer your questions on steel, and you can dodge around all you want to now. You're just wasting time. I'll talk to you about anything else.
Mr. President, you had a kind word to say about a couple of Democratic potentials. Have you ever noticed whether the leading Republican contender to the presidency was a sick man? About Eisenhower, there have been some stories that he's an ailing man.
Oh, he's not anything of the kind. He's in perfect health, and he's as fine a man as ever walked. I've told you that time and again. He's just beginning to find out what happens to a candidate. That's mild, what he'll have to face a little later on.
Senator Williams made charges the other day regarding loans to the Democratic committee in New York that have been charged off as tax losses. Senator George introduced a bill to ban such loans. Do you think that's good?
I don't know anything about it at all.
Thank you.